They say, hey, you don't look depressed. How can you be depressed? With all the swag and style pasted on your body, with all the fancy brands, clothes and accessories, and imported perfume lingering over you and your hair, with perfect and coveted body and enthusiasm for fitness, with all the glow on your face, and most important, you're the only one giving the widest smile, lips almost stretched to the ears. They say, how can you be depressed and anxious for you going to elite music college? You know, music heals everything. For you being so funny, for you being so talented and creative, for you are the best hostess I've ever seen. Dear spectator, fuck you. For you don't know what I go through every day or I've been going through since I learned how to tie my shoelace. Clueless is the first person who hugs me every morning. My ceiling fan seems more interesting than anyone else. I can't understand the concept of just being happy because the only thing that can make me happy is being distracted. You can't predict the amount of adrenaline constantly flowing down there in my spine. It's like sitting on a deadly roller coaster with no end to stop. It's like a drilling machine of all the same damn feelings piercing my chest and I'm shouting but nothing comes out. The inner walls of my cheeks are wounded, my lower lip is always dry because I kept biting in. I can't help fiddling with my fingers and rubbing my knuckles. I have thin skin on my face and hands as I wash them now and then because I enjoy the numb feeling of cold water. I can literally hear my own heartbeat with every awaited phone call. My heart skips a beat with slightest changes in people's expressions. I can figure out a number of people staring at me in a colossal crowd. Introspection seems never ending and unstoppable. Besides knowing it's useless and nuisance to cognition, I spare hours on it. It's invisible. Aimless pacing about a hall at dusk is a normal event. You don't know how many times I reassure even smallest of things like locked door and leaking tap. Running calms me down, but never do I complain about swollen muscles and cramps. It relieves me of that heavy rock that's tenting and hollowing my chest, at least for a while. I wish if you could figure out that my face is more flushed and paler than glowing. Apparently, my bed and pillow are my favorite buddies as sleeping comforts me because I'm not thinking anymore. And pillow works as sponge to absorb both my face and tears I shed. You may have a beautiful perspective on skyscrapers and the pond, but all I could think is their height and depth. All this time you keep tagging me as rude and arrogant, but I was vulnerable and weak and somewhere spineless to talk to you in your face. All this time you keep tagging me as clumsy and careless, but I was busy in recollecting my own soul. Either of seeing a psychologist or psychiatrist didn't work for me. They say talk to a friend also went in vain. My heart flinches every time a so-called friend reiterates that he or she understands my situation and dismisses the conversation by saying, it's all in your head, snap out of it, or oh come on, you'll get over it in some time, or worse, joke about it. Dear friend, your giggles did hurt me. I really wish if you know the difference between sympathy and empathy. But you know what? Enough. Because now I'm tired. I'm tired of looking out for people who love me and care about me. And this is my desperate shot to convey a message to all the friends who are fighting with this monster. Stop. Stop victimizing yourself because you are one fucking strong person in your own. Normal people may have many other things to fight with, but you, my dear, have this constant struggle within yourself and that is resilient. Instead of hanging out by the same ceiling fan, you're still hanging out here. I know the concept of self-love won't help your vulnerabilities and insecurities, but instead of making yourself more clumsy and pathetic, try it. Take care of yourself and love yourself, and if you know something is seriously wrong with you or before you commit suicide, valiantly ask for help. Screw the people who tag you as pagal or mentally retarded because taboo that still exists in the society won't bring you back to people who really care about you and loved you. Believe me, your parents won't be able to lift you till the deathbed. Be brave, be patient and keep going. होता है सबके साथ.